It's not really.
Vibes, as in Vibes Cartel? No. No. Okay.
Isn't he locked up?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Law 4. Always say less than necessary. Judgment. When you are trying to impress people with words, the more you say, the more common you appear, and the less in control.
Viewers and subscribers, welcome back to another episode of Vibes and Insight with Nando. You know it's your boss Nando and I building with another episode and another vlog. So as you see on the screen and as you've seen in the title, we're here to react to the Alkalines interview that was done in Jamaica by an interviewer who goes by the name of Cliff Hughes. And this interview is, or I would say, was a groundbreaking interview that had the whole media space into an uproar because everyone came out with mixed feelings, or more so, I would say, a lot of fans or a lot of listeners of dancehall music came out with mixed feelings, stating that this was Alkaline's worst interview. And from my perspective, after watching the interview, I got a whole different take from the interview. So I'm going to react to the interview on some of the key parts that I've seen in this interview, because what I've realized is that a lot of people took just bits and pieces just to run in the media. As stated, with Alkaline's publicists, they stated that a lot of these subpars media outlets or platforms, they run with clickbaits, or they post videos for rating. They do vlogs or create stuff for ratings in order to mislead the public or to have a sway on their side, or have the public have a negative say on the artist Alkaline. And as you've known, Alkaline is an artist for years. He's been getting a backlash. He's been getting a fight for a long time in the Jamaican space and also in the dancehall space, which we would call the old culture of Jamaica. So this interview, we're going to do some reactions to some of it and really, I would say, analyze and really show some key points to some of the viewers, or some of you viewers and listeners of the music. Because what we really realize is that a lot of these people are projecting their own insecurity or their own well-being on another person. What others need to understand is that Alkaline is a person of his own. He has his own personality. He has his own persona. If somebody, I understand that he's an artist and people want him to have a certain character to his image because he's an entertainer and he's entertaining people and so forth. But what people need to understand at point blank is that he's human also, and he is a person of himself. And this interview just shows me that Alkaline is different from Earl and Bartley. This interview gave me a more subtle side of Alkaline, more composed, more collective, more humble side of Alkaline. And after watching this interview, I can definitely say that the fight where this young man I get, him should not get it, because after watching it and realizing that, hey, this man is just doing music for just music and for the fans, because his persona is different from the musical side of his persona. So we're going to just jump right into the reaction and play some of the interview, and we're going to talk about it. And I'm going to stop and play some parts of the interview just to talk about it and just to expound on what I truly got from it. So let's just jump right into the reaction.
Because I have with me the very talented, the gifted Earl Bartley, more known to you as Alkaline. Yes, he's in the house. And where is the house? Villa Ronai in Stony Hill in St. Andrew, where it's been raining, but quite nice. Lovely afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Bartley.
Blessed.
Champion boy.
Yeah, a pleasure. Yeah.
Alkaline.
Yeah, man.
What you doing?
Pleasure to be here, man. Superman.
The way how he greeted the interviewer is profound, and I respect it. You can see it, from the get-go. It's just pure, so it's just more so him being more article, more subtle. Like, I've seen some comments in the comment section of this interview, and people were saying that, oh, we wanted back the old Alkaline with him being flary and fiery, and fire back at whatever the interviewer said. No, really, the badness, that are vibes that they want to get back. People need to understand that Alkaline has grown over these years, and we can't really project the past on someone's future. You have to understand. So we do grow and we do mature. So that is one thing we want to put out there.
Super. Yeah. The preparations for new rules, how are they going?
Yeah, man, preparations, they're going good. Everything going as according to plan,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rehearsals?
Yeah, man. Nice set list. Venue, nice, everything. Nice.
Where's the venue?
Trinidad multi-purpose stadium.
This weekend, the Friday?
Yeah, it's gonna be epic.
What I got so far is that he's having a conversation with the interviewer, and I don't feel any cringe from the first part of this interview. I didn't feel any sort of way. It was just that he might really have a conversation. The first part of this interview was the interviewer asking Alkalines about his new rules, his upcoming new rules concert in Jamaica, and he profoundly answered it respectfully in a manner I can definitely respect also. But you, the viewers and subscribers, tell me if you respect how he responded to the new rules with the interviewer asking him about the show.
Tell me, why new rules? Why that name? New rules.
It's just the energy we are pushing, especially in our entry in the game. You know what I mean? Game they don't set to itself, but we just add to it,
And the game being what? Dancer.
I find it strange that people are out here comparing Alkaline to someone else, saying that he needs to articulate himself just like someone else. What I don't understand is, why do they compare people? Why do they like to compare artists? Why do they like to pit artists against artists? Is it that they want a rivalry or a clash in the dancehall space, which is why they tend to run with a narrative that Alkaline is either a diss somebody or something of the sort? Because after watching this interview, because listen, I've watched the interview already, but because I was at work, I really didn't get to really listen in depth on some of the answers that Alkaline laid out there on the table to the interview. And what I got so far after watching the interview earlier today was that all cards was laid on the table. All cards was laid on the table, and I can respect that. I can definitely respect that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
business,
So your new rules suggest that you are coming to make new rules.
Yeah, man. That person's felt,
Yeah.
As stated in the interview, Alkaline says the whole new rule, the old brand new rule, is that him coming at the dancehall space for making presence felt, for bring something to the game. It's like to say he's adding on other stuff to the dancehall space, new rules, making his own groundbreaking accomplishment, his own presence being felt. And that me get from that part there. And he answered that definitely like how more than expecting for answer.
Midday. Yes, so the new rules.
Pull up button.
Tell me, why new rules? Why that name? New rules.
It's just the energy we are pushing, especially in our entry in the game. You know what I mean? Game they don't set to itself, but we just add to it,
And the game being what?
Dancehall.
Dancehall.
Dancer.
That's what I call it, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So your new rules suggest that you are coming to make new rules.
Yeah, man. That person's felt,
Yeah.
And just like that, he stated, my new rules is to make my presence felt, make them know say I'm there. And that is what he did from the very get-go of his whole career, his whole breakout. The whole contacting and the whole having people acknowledging him and realizing that this is the man, this is Alkaline.
make there. Yeah, so the new rules is just, yeah. It's a movement.
I get the impression, watching your music and your performances, that you started as an unknown, yes, and you...
Let me say, big respects to Cliff Hughes, because as I've stated, I've watched this interview today, and Cliff Hughes asks some critical questions and some reasonable questions also. Some questions where me in my head not really a mates, but you know, people who don't know Alkaline wants to know about him, wants to know about his upbringing, his past of coming into the dancehall space. You know, family, family, music, all of the sort. He asked him about politics also. Let me put that out there.
Made moves to break in or break out. Yeah, you got some pushback.
As usual.
And you see, that's what I've said. A lot of people need to watch this interview because they're running with the clickbaits and the snippets from the interview and not really watching it to get the understanding. Cliff Hughes said that he came into this dancehall space, he got some pushback, which is true, and he said this is his response.
Yeah.
In anything, yeah?
Yeah, you had your moments when
he said he got pushback.
Yeah, you had your moments when they were saying no.
So he's saying that in his dancehall upbringing, he got some pushback, and Alkaline stated, which is understandable because in anything you do, you're always going to get pushback. Whatever entity you find yourself in, you're going to get pushback. And that is a good answer. That is a respondable answer.
Right. Yeah. What was your breakout moment?
In terms of like, what I do, you know, I'm forward with a striking image.
What I understand after listening to the interview over and over is that Alkaline think more critical in his response before just responding. He thinks about whatever he's going to say before responding, as to say, him not just a listen for respond, him just listen keenly, then critical thinking, then respond after. People are saying him not articulate himself, but to me, he's articulating himself just like I would expect him. You have to understand, you know, everybody is different from everybody, you know. You may want somebody to articulate themselves in a way or you feel suit or you feel pleasing, but everybody is just different in them own way. And for years, people have said Alkaline is not like this, was never like this, but to me, he was like this, calm, humble, subtle. Me not see what everybody has say, yo, him different or him change or him dunce or whatever. I don't see what people are trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, an image that enough people wouldn't really understand or would agree with, you know.
Pull up back that part.
As usual.
Yeah.
In anything, yeah?
Yeah, you had your moments when they were saying no.
Right.
Yeah. What was your breakout moment?
In terms of like, what I do, you know, I'm forward with a striking image. You know what I mean? An image that enough people wouldn't really understand or would agree with.
And this is a question a lot of people wanted to ask him about, which I would definitely say it's about the contact, the image, or him coming out of business. So he's saying that when he came into the dancehall space, the image that he came with, a lot of people weren't approved of it. A lot of people gave him pushback. A lot of people gave him, you know, a lot of people threw him to the dog, saying that him a devil worshipper, or, you know, this tattoo black eye thing like him a demon and so forth. So he's saying that his image was so striking that a lot of people were pushing him back. So listen to him. He may not put it in too much words like I am doing, but this is what he's saying. And if you had understand and comprehend what he's saying, then you would get what I'm saying.
You know, we did. They look, they kind of different with the dark out on them, you know? So, yeah. And then after that, the things me love. You know what I mean? And the 1, 2, 3. And the extent just, the string of his stem just came and followed
That hit.
He's reasoning. He's literally articulating himself. He's literally speaking, and I can say that so far the interview is going good. Me I vibe to it. Me I feel the energy. The energy when I push off, it's more so humble, subtle, easygoing, chiller. That type of energy me I get. Me now I get no flair, no look of excitement, no bag of nothing fit of the media going crazy for having clickbait. But you know, it is just Alkaline. Whatever he does have the media go crazy. But so far the interview is just subtle, humble and easy. It's just a listenable interview where you just a meds and a listen every keen question and answer part of the interview.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That one really
Yeah.
caused.
Put your foot through the door, yeah?
Oh,
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
but you didn't put your foot through the door, you kicked down the door.
Kick it out.
Bad.
Yeah.
That part, like I've said, after watching this interview, listen, I watched this interview twice before, and after watching it the second time, there were some key moments of this interview that had me busting look shots in busting look blank in ice sky. Come I say some of the questions the interview asked Alkaline and Alkaline responded made me say yo that's some question where really needed to be asked and answered. And after saying that, you didn't just come to the door, you kicked down the door, and that is facts. It's not like it's not fact. It is a fact that Alkaline came into the dancehall space, kicked down the door, so new youth can run boy. And remember, back then there was a time when dancehall was in a camp type of thing where you have the Gully, the Gaza, the Alliance, and you would have to form an allegiance to one of those three camps. So because Alkaline coming at the game by himself, him no need no reference, no referral, him kick down the door, and it's evident not just to Alkaline or his fans, to everyone else who are not his fans.
And then
Everything
Make
is fine.
move mountains.
Move mountains.
Cliff Hughes I name some of the songs them people.
The song went for the girl. I want you for them, I don't know them from the head right
Yeah?
Yeah.
We're gonna talk a little bit more about that. But
now. Right.
a lot of Jamaicans
Right.
follow you, yeah,
Yeah?
but they don't really know much about you. You are
These are some, as I've stated, these are some of the questions that needed to be answered. A lot of people were out here in the media stating that Alkaline doesn't speak to anyone. Alkaline is too much of an introvert. Alkaline isolates himself from people. And Cliff Hughes brought up these conversations that I've said, very well done interview by the interviewer. And the response from Alkaline is it is acceptable. It is up to par, I would say. Like, you may say him not use big words as in modern day society of well educated intellectual personnel. He may not use the big words that y'all expected him to do, but he's using words of what I would say. He's using words that's comfortable with him in the present moment. He's giving off an article, composed type of person. Like, after watching this interview, it reminds me of the Bob Marley interview. In Bob Marley's interview, Bob Marley didn't use much of any big words. He just calm, cool, collected, subtle, just the same like the interview right now on the screen. No big words was there in Bob Marley's interview. Him just speak naturally, calm to the people, as I've stated, just so that people can understand him. You don't have to use big words so that people can understand. If you want to appeal to everyone, the whole mass, not just the intellectual class of people, you have to speak in an understandable way. Just like the Bible said, a pastor should not speak in tongues if he doesn't know how to let the congregation understand what he's speaking about. So if there's some fellow church members in the congregation who don't understand tongues, there should be someone there to interpret it. So Alkaline is out here speaking in a calm, easy, normal fashion of style of conversation so that the whole mass can understand. But remember, most of us are in a dunce culture. A lot of us within our dunce culture. A lot of us me not gonna say a lot of us done. Me don't want to really jump out and jump the gun and say with a lot of us done. But we live in a dunce culture where a dunce are the dunce are the talk right now. But it's not a dunce conversation. It's just a conversation so that everyone across the board can understand.
This mystique around Alkaline, yeah? Very private. They don't know you. Tell me, where were you born?
Born in Kingston, man. Kingston.
Where in Kingston? Jubilee.
Yeah.
Victoria.
And this just proves to me that this interview wasn't staged, because some of the questions that this interviewer asked him, you remember, he has a paper in front of him that him write down some of the stuff where him asked. This just proved to me that everything were out there in the public where the public has said, Cliff Hughes jot it down just so that he could ask Alkaline about it, so that, you know, Alkaline can answer the question the public wants to hear. And that's what I'm saying. Some questions that were asked are very on point and clinical, and I can respect that, bro.
Jubilee Hospital.
Yeah.
And then you grew up around Kingston, I gather. You were in Sandy Park at one time,
Yeah,
Sundown Crescent.
Yeah.
Sundown
How
Chris.
were the
See, questions that needed to be asked and answered. He's answering the questions that has been placed to him. And I respect that, bro. I thought people were saying this interview is null, or dull, or boring. What people want is the excitement out of an interview. You know, the normal interview of people running with every little thing that took place in an interview. Because most of these podcasts, there's always clickbait moments in most of them interviews here. So because they have few and little moments of controversy in the interview that Alkaline did, they have a problem with it.
early years?
Lean years. It was good. You know, simple, calm.
Mm-hmm.
And it was cool. Forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you grew up with who?
Moms, sisters.
These are some of the personal aspect of the conversation. He's asking him about his mom. This is about his personal life, his family. But you know, not too in depth, or Alkaline not revealing much about himself or his private life, because you have to take the private life away from the music. Not everybody needs to know your ins and outs within your private life. So separate the music from the life. Like for me, I am a fan of Alkaline, and honestly speaking, I do not need to know much about Alkaline's private, in-depth life. I just listen to his music. Whatever message that I need to uplift me or to carry me through the days, I listen to his music to understand where his headspace is at. What is he talking about? What is he going through? As you know, in drop a song the other day, Artsky speaking about his losses of his family and father and so forth. So with him speaking in the music, I fully understand where he's coming from. Me no really need to know much about his private life.
Family, yeah?
Yeah. Mom?
Yeah.
Charmaine? What?
Yeah.
And dad?
Yeah.
Yeah. How was it like growing up with how many siblings?
Two.
Two.
Mm-hmm.
A brother and a sister.
Two sisters.
Two sisters.
Yeah, management team, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
So tell me, you have made it big now, yeah? But those early years would have shaped you.
Definitely.
How so?
Yeah, because the core values were instilled from at home, yeah? Yeah. I'm just gonna make sure I say she train the right way, yeah? Discipline and all them things, yeah? Yeah.
Mom was a disciplinarian,
Yeah, definitely.
not dad?
He's getting in depth with the conversation of his whole personal life and his whole family, because I didn't know that his mom was a disciplinarian. She's the disciplinarian personnel of the whole family. She disciplined the whole family, everybody. It's not the father. In an household, we always would think that it's the father who is the disciplinarian, who disciplines the whole family, but it's the mother. And I didn't know that. And to know about that, it's a plus also for this whole interview.
Marvelous. Yes, sir, marvelous.
Or how was she like as a disciplinarian?
They don't know academics is on the top of your list, you know.
Oh.
So you don't know you have to take in the studies, you know.
Uh-huh.
But it helps, you know.
Yes.
So Alkaline stated his mom is a disciplinarian. Academics is the top of her list. So the kids have to really take in them school book. Them have to really go school. Them have to really, do the necessary stuff for make it out of the life of poverty. Because the garrison life, mother, father want you to make it out, want you to go school. So she's been the backbone of Alkaline's whole family by, pushing the kids towards school, taking education. But RIP to Rooster and so forth. But he's revealing that his mom is the one who pushes them to, push themselves to the limit, taking them book. Academics is the plus for her.
Where did you go to primary school?
Primary school. Michael practicing.
Michael
practicing primary.
And
I heard people saying that he didn't remember his primary school. Y'all need to understand that. This man is 31 years old. I don't even remember my principal's name. Like, I am the same age as Alkaline. But these are not some of the stuff that are at the top of my dome, at top of my brain. To think, at the primary school, amigo. Yeah, it took you a while to remember it. But as a man like Alkaline, who is a businessman who has so much going on in his head, who wouldn't expect him to just come up at the top of his dome and remember that. It's just natural. People now gonna always remember everything. Like, I don't understand.
you started to distinguish yourself then?
Yeah, man, from early up, man. Because, I say, we didn't involve in school challenge quiz.
Yes.
From them time then.
With him moving around, you could sense that he's doing some critical thinking. I may say him kind of uncomfortable because say him not through the interview that much, but I can't say him uncomfortable in some sense, but you can see he's finding himself throughout the interview, being more relaxed, being responsive more, saying more than the usual as people are saying. Say him not say much in an interview, but he's saying more, he's finding his way out to being more comfortable. And me get that. And you have to understand, interviews are not always done to make the interviewee comfortable. It's not always done to make the interviewee comfortable. It's to rile up the whole moment. It's to ask some critical questions to have the person thinking, what is this interviewer going to ask me next? Because as I've stated, this doesn't look script to me. So the interviewer has some question placed on a paper where I ask him. So Alkaline is waiting for the next question, wondering what he's going to ask. So the interviewer leaves Alkaline in a place to think critically, and me get that, bro.
Famous trip of you.
Yeah, it's in one of my songs.
Yeah.
Anchor the World.
Yeah.
Clipper.
How did you make the schools challenge junior quiz?
Oh, this was the part where he stayed. He went into the school challenge quiz.
We didn't involve in school challenge quiz.
Yes.
From them time then.
There's a famous trip of you.
Yeah, it's in one of my songs.
Yeah.
Anchor the World.
Yeah.
Clipper.
How did you make the schools challenge junior quiz at Michael?
Yeah, let me see, say, what it takes, yeah?
To me, this is a real sit-down conversation. Like, literally sitting here and watching this conversation. They're having a conversation. It's not like a clickbait type of interview or an interview to get the public running with something. This is just an interview done, like literally doing an interview. Naturally, off at the top of them, him respond. The interviewer have questions where him have in order for ask Alkaline, everything placed in order. So it's just a sit-down conversation with me I get from this. This is not too much conversation to really impress him in some later down in the interview, but by the starting of the interview, you can see everything I take time build up. Him not actually press him now, but he might ask him some question where people want to know about. Even though people know about the school challenge quiz and so forth, but people want to get for under. For me, this interview is done just for people to understand who Alkaline really is. Find out what's his persona, so to speak. Who him really be inside is what I would say. His energy, where his energy flow is at. Where my meds, where my think. That is what I really get. And this is for like the fans, cause after watching this interview, this just proves to me more and more that this man is just a subtle, humble, calm and collective youth. Like it just seemed like him more humble now. Alright, I would say yeah, him jump out wild and raunchy and flary and so forth, but while growing I realize the man calm and easy and humble, and that me get from him.
You're a bright boy. Something like that. And when your mom wanted more academically, you got into Ardennes.
Yeah.
And Ardennes, the most influential of all the schools, or
everything we have a big part in our journey still, but when I say Ardennes was when I really zoom in on music and say, this is what I want to do, because I was Alkaline even from high school, Ardennes.
You were Alkaline.
Right.
From Ardennes.
Yeah, becoming.
So these are some of the questions that he's answering with in-depth answer. He's answering with giving the interviewer in-depth answer. No, look 1-2 word. He might explain himself. He might tell him, say, he was pursuing music from a longer time. He might play around with music from Ardennes days. The amateur level, not the professional, but he might do him look at him from Ardennes days. And, that's his upbringing.
Oh, yeah. How did that name emerge, or
It's quite a good. But I mean, I come up with a name, The sister came.
Viewers, listeners, he whispered, the sister may have this choir about.
Yeah, true. I mean, I come up with a name.
I don't understand how people not get the interview. Well, to each his own, Different folks, different strokes, different folks. Everybody comprehend things different, but after watching this interview, people, Alkaline just a be article, him just a be himself, and him just a reason and have a conversation with the interviewer, and it doesn't feel cringy to me, even though his answers might be subtle and calm and not too much expression behind them answers, but he's answering collectively and calculatively, I would say, calm and easy.
Mm-hmm. Guys, we have some different idea. I'm gonna say, I should say, yeah, but she don't want to say she give me the name still. But
she.
The fact that he's having a conversation and smiling and laughing just proves to me that he's comfortable with the whole interview going on. It not have him tense. I guess that is why people are saying that Cliff Hughes now ask him some critical questions, because Cliff Hughes have the dog smile and a easy car. He might reminisce on the times when him and his sister came up with the old name Alkaline, and he's saying that him sister say she give him it and him say him give himself it, or him come up with the name. So it's just a whole moment of him reflecting and laughing in the present. So me not understand why people are say the interview was cringe.
I think I mean.
So Alkaline started from Ardennes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
And was that the moment you discovered that really this was you wanted to get into music?
Yeah, most definitely.
Tell me how that evolved.
Well, it started from when I was to the one day with my brethren, Spade.
See, I'm telling you, people, he's revealing some personal stuff about his life. I don't know who is Spade, and as an Alkaline fan, he's saying something about his music and him and a friend called Spade got a studio. I didn't know that. For him to be going in depth in giving us even a name of someone else, this just proves to me that this man is comfortable in the interview. I don't understand what other people are seeing, but what I'm getting from the interview, as stated in the old vlog, people, calm, subtle, easy going, just chill. He's just having a reasoning with the interview, and whatever the interview asked him, he responds with whatever response, but the response are always up to par. Key response.
Right. Even the voice of Sam says just like, I just go with him. I just like the thing and we just never stop going. And we just do the tune and
You remember what form you were in, what grade you were in at that time?
probably second form.
Second form.
Yeah, like about 8th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure all old knows at the time.
Yeah.
But from then time, when I go student, never stop. Yeah.
So when did mommy know that you were going to studio?
What I really understand is that people wanted Alkaline to use big words in his conversation. Yeah, he's articulating himself how he feels suited to articulate himself, but people want, I don't know, people want him to be like them, I would say, or people want him to be like his old self, because yeah, when he went on stage and all those other platforms, yeah, him talk different. He said that he did what he had to do, so now that him do him have to do, now him can do what him want do. He did what he had to do to break out. Yeah.
Probably around that time,
You shared it with me.
yeah, because I was also recording music videos
Mm-hmm.
at school.
Oh.
Yeah, and uploading it on the internet. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, so yeah, because at that time, internet it kind of kick off certain kind of social media platform. It kind of kick off, and that was our way of expressing ourselves.
Yeah.
Getting our voice heard.
Mm-hmm.
So we use that platform to kind of generate a fun base from even early as then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so even from them time, you know, people that say,
Yo, what?
you have a boss. You know what I mean? You have a body stick. You know what I mean? Even from them. You know what I mean?
What did they see in you?
I'm not sure what them see, but they don't know, I guess. I just the determination.
So he said that he wasn't sure what others saw in him when he was doing music and coming up. But you know, sometimes it's like that. Sometimes you as the person who is doing the work don't really see it, but it's others who are out there who sees it. So he's saying that while coming up in the music business, or while, you know, doing the music amateurly, him not really see what other people see in him, which is I would say humble and grateful of knowing that other people see greatness in him. But it's like him a do it, but because of the determination and the persistence which derived him for reach where him reach.
You know what I mean? And the hunger and the love for the music, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was from second form at Arden. You remember your principal at the
Oh, this is where it's glitching.
No?
No, never
You don't remember the
Honestly speaking, I don't remember my principal. Trust me. I don't know my principal to blood clean. Now that is understandable if him not remember him principal. I said, you know, a years now him left high school, so I would understand why him wouldn't remember him principal. But a lot of people are out here saying that, oh, Alkaline not for remember him principal. Are people crazy? Look how long I doubt someone who left school 20 or 25 years now remember them principal name.
Well, after second form, you went on to do CHC at Arden.
Yeah.
How did you do at CHC?
Do my thing, man. Yeah, man.
Meaning?
Go on, good man, get me solid then, man.
How many?
I'm solid again.
You remember?
But I'm a subject again, man.
This was a weird part for him to not. We might understand also. This was a part where he didn't remember how much subject him getting, which is naturally for him to not remember. Like I stated, this man is a businessman. He's doing music for how much years now. He's more focusing on the business aspect of his career and his life. So to dig deeper in his history or past to say oh him remember how much subject him get. It is understandable also for him to not remember, but I can understand when people say oh him not remember him subject them, but is it just life, it's just natural.
So you got about 7 or 8?
Or 6.
6. But you did well enough so that you could get in later at UWI. Tell me about the transition from RDN to UA.
Yeah, when I left RDN and reached UA, at that point in time, just music on there, that's when I boss.
So after leaving school, he said that him realized that music are the aim, music are the dream. Him not focus on nothing else. Like other dancehall artists or other artists in other different genre. When you find the passion for something, it's like nothing else matters. So him focus is on music and a music hit there, and that him do from him left school. So him headspace, school, all of them things that was it for him for university. So it was just that,
Into Karamak.
Yeah.
And you started at Karamak? Did you actually start?
Yeah, start.
And how was it?
Kind of cool, but you know what I mean. Music my thing at that point in time.
You weren't really interested in the Karamak work.
It can go on, like what I said.
Yeah, it can go on.
It can go on.
But you went in another direction.
Really, because I don't know. Mine made up, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mine made up on. You see it?
Time.
You see it?
Yeah.
That part is crazy, brother. The man look on him watch. Time are the matter. Time matters. And man is saying that in mind make up. Time is against him, so his time is now to focus on music. Shit.
So you paid attention to the fact that you needed to self-actualize.
You see it? Yeah, man, so.
But explain for our viewers or listeners,
Right.
what was that like? Coming to the realization that, listen, this is not for me. How did that manifest itself?
Well, I just, why seeing the reaction we get from people whenever we put out the work and we say, so we might actually have a chance at this thing.
No, I like that response. The interviewer asked Alkaline, how did you know or how did you realize that music was the thing, was the go-to thing for you? And Alkaline's response was that after seeing the fans or seeing some supporters, when him just a breakout, how them love the music and how them appreciate it, shows him that him really have a chance at this thing called music. And I respect his response.
Yeah. Also, burning feeling inside just
Cool.
great,
Cool.
and
Just like I stated, you see the passion we have inside of you, right? Any burning feeling you have inside of you for something that you're doing, nothing else sways your mind but just that thing we are burning in your chest, that feeling of wanting to do that thing. When you want a job or you want a career, you focus on a career goal and you tell yourself, say, say, at this moment in a life, at this me I go put my focus on. Just like someone wanting to be a doctor, wanting to be a nurse, wanting to be a policeman, wanting to be a judge, a lawyer, whoever. It's just always a passion, a burning feeling, a chef, naturally.
The big things, Yeah, you know what I do. I have to know what for him,
Facts. I'm gonna have to know what for him.
Was for me.
Okay. So you left Karima
Right.
after how many years?
I think it was in the first year.
The first year.
Yeah.
And you
So he's revealing that he only did 1 year in university, which is Karamak University. UA University, but Karamak. So he stated that he did 1 year, and just that was it for him, and music, the thing that
shifted to do
artist.
Full-time artist.
Yeah, man.
And that full-time team that you surrounded yourself with. Tell me about that.
Yeah, man, I know they say chain is as strong as weakest link, so I don't know.
That's a good response. The chain is as strong as the weakest link, which is what he's referring to is team. Bumble. And people said the interview not informative. The interview is not up to par. People said the interview boring.
To make sure so they have a solid link. You know, so you know,
Solid
team,
link.
from them time. You know?
And who were the crucial members of that team around you?
Your family, man, your sister, man, carry on, you know, and we also.
Just remember that saying, a chain is weaker than the weakest link. So the man saying build a solid link, a solid team.
Friends who are supported from high school, you know what I mean? Bring them on board, you know?
Yeah.
Over time, you know? The thing just build and get stronger and more powerful, you know? Bringing more people, you know, ideas, you know?
Yeah.
Like-minded people, you know?
It's interesting you mention your two sisters because they're still a critical part of your team.
Super.
They're here today, or is it Kerry-Ann? There's Kerry-Ann over there too.
I give me that.
That's Kimmy.
Yeah, one after
Right.
you know?
Well,
Yeah, man, but Kerry, they both said it.
yes. So tell me, Alkaline, your breakout year
Right,
with the album New Level Unlocked,
right.
debuted at the top of the Billboard Reggae Albums chart, stayed there at number 1 for
Right.
18 weeks.
Yeah.
How was that like for you? 2016 was a very good year.
Yeah, man.
Tell me,
Because I hear, you know?
your life changed?
Yeah, just like that.
How?
Because the first strike, I think, first album ever done, for number 1. Yeah, man, that is a good feeling, man. And I drive around on the island and people play a song and people are acknowledge and know, say, you will be this song. You know what I mean? The work where you put in, help them through certain situations. And
Now, why do people are out here saying that this interview is boring? This interview is not up to par. Why is this the worst interview? This man is revealing and letting y'all know that his first debut album did so big for him that when he was driving around the island, the country of Jamaica, people were acknowledging him, letting him know that, yeah man, youth, that album is tough. It put me through a lot of tough times, a lot of moments when I feel down and so forth. So he's revealing and explaining himself, letting y'all know that from the get-go, the first album did so well for him.
yeah, I mean, that's a great feeling, man. Yeah, man.
But you remained humble
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
and still so today.
Yeah, man.
Yeah? But let me ask you this. Now that you're looking back, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
since 2016,
Yeah.
you have gone on and you have done many more songs.
Really.
Tell me a couple of your favorites.
If I say the name, you never know them.
Oh, you know that.
Because, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite them always, I was on doing the next thing. You know?
Yeah? So let me hear
And
it.
me have all the vibes. Me have all the vibes. Me have it.
So as I've stated, viewers and subscribers, I've watched the interview, so I know some of the key moments in the interview. And like I said, this interview is a more subtle, informative type of interview, composed, easy, calm and easy. And he's saying that for his music, because the interviewer asked him, what are some of your favorite music? And Alkaline stated, my favorite is always the next new thing, always the next new release. So for the other ones that he has released is for the fans to love it as much as they can love it. It's for them to grab, but his favorite is always the new release or the newly releases.
Nice to me.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite them Always a new thing. When I let it come, God can have it. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah.
So he's saying that he enjoys his music, but when he lets it out, it's for y'all to enjoy and love it because he's always on to the next, on to the newest releases.
Come on to the next one.
So you don't linger and savor the moment.
I ain't got time for that. You know?
Vendetta not living at the moment. We create moments, we don't live in the past. Create moments, we don't live in the past. So Vendetta don't live in at the moment. Jano, the youth are clinical.
Oh, I ain't got time for that.
So,
And to be honest, it is true. You cannot always live in the moment because time goes by so fast. If you get lost within the moment, time passes so fast.
you just move on.
Right, yeah.
So to your Legion of fans, yeah, which one did you write all of that?
All of them. Yesterday, I just look through some things and I find one of my early songbook. I would date them when the song right. The production, I'm like, yo, it's cool.
The way how you are, as I've stated, this man is more so article, calm, collective. The man said, after founding his old songbook, he was like, wow, this is golden. This is amazing. He's saying that the whole songbook when you find it's legendary, it's gold. Because it is gold, because that songbook can be placed into Hall of Fame. Right?
So you taught yourself how to write music?
People taught myself. Yeah, I guess it just found natural. I don't know if I teach myself.
Oh,
So,
that's natural.
I found it that he tends to slur his words like, yeah, it just comes natural. And I like that. I kind of like that. It just gives me a easygoing type of person. Somebody will not to ackle up themselves. And after listening to the music and getting the calm composure in the music, but really, see, the music matches the persona because of lately, the music them must sing more calm, subtle, humble. It's like a man of peace. And just like that, he must show me say, I see a person where I sing the songs them. I do interview right now.
yeah, man, that's right. Yes, right, yeah? Yeah, man, I'm right, yeah?
You did well at literature at school? Yes.
Oh, that part, the glitch. He asked him about literature, but I didn't see the response. So that part kind of glitched out of the interview, guys.
You have received the many awards. Yeah?
Right,
The Hapless, the 21st Hapless Digital Music Award.
right.
Top male artist, most streamed artist, most downloaded artist.
Right.
You have collaborated with Sean Kingston, Fetty Wap. Yeah?
No, Sean. Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
Mm.
No,
Fetty Wap.
No.
Oh, so he's saying he didn't collaborated with Fetty Wap, but he collaborated with Sean Kingston, which we know that, the Sean Kingston, we know that. But the Fetty Wap, yeah, me never know nothing about the Fetty Wap part there. I know about a Boogie, but not Fetty Wap. Maybe Cliff Hughes got that wrong, but it wasn't Fetty Wap.
But Sean, how was it working with Sean Kingston?
It was calm, man.
Yeah?
It was calm, you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was a remix for Right on Me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you gotta go international field, man.
Yeah.
Vibe, man. Calm, it worked.
In tracking and researching for this, your music evolved.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
20 minutes and 25 minutes has gone out of the interview and I haven't found a cringe moment. What are all these other people talking about? What are all these people out here talking about? Saying it's cringe, it's boring. I will have vibes, I watch an interview, I enjoy it. It article, it easy going, chill. It's a chill interview. I guess people want an exciting moment. They're looking for a clickbait exciting moment. I don't know.
The process of the evolution that you went through in terms of the lyrics.
There's different colors to the music, you know? and different strokes for different folks. So,
That's a good answer.
But
That's a good answer. Different colors to the music, different strokes for different folks. Y'all heard the answer that he gave to the interviewer about the growth, the maturity of his music.
spice of life, say that.
Variety is the spice of life. I don't understand what people were watching when they were watching this interview.
The fans them some different things sometimes, yeah, so that is all the evolution for as along with mindset and you have new fans, every day. Somebody turn 18, yeah.
That's a good response also. You saw how much response he gave just for that one question, and people are saying he didn't respond. He mentioned about different strokes for different folks. He mentioned about music. He mentioned about variety is the spice of life. He mentioned about the colors of music. He mentioned about saying that every day someone turns 18, so he grows with fans. I don't understand.
People are part of the concert, new fans are part of the concert, and them view things different to us, Yeah, and people all over the world get in tune with the music, traveling and interacting and experiencing.
And his hands and gestures are playing a key role in his response.
From cultures that are contribute to the evolution.
The only problem I had was that the mic was kind of low. It was probably too much far apart from his mouth because, as you guys can see, the mic was on his jacket. But it kind of did too far apart from his mouth. You might not hear him properly. But I am listening him. I mean, I hear him good. But kind of you have to little bit listen keenly for hear him. But I am hearing him.
Yeah.
Let's make sure something.
Who's your typical fan? When you're writing music, you're going to write for somebody. Who's that person you visualize, you write for, you perform for?
This is a good question.
What do you think somebody will believe in themselves and persistent and working? Normal people, regular people.
So he's saying that his typical fans are the fans who believe in themselves, persistent, hard-working, normal people.
Yeah.
And people have them drive.
People who have them drive.
Younger people. Young people.
And more mature people.
And more mature.
Yeah.
Good response.
So,
good response. He's saying that it's not just younger people is his fans, and mature people also is his fans.
those songs that were your breakthrough songs, the lewd lyrics,
Good
was that a
question.
rite of passage?
Good question. He asked him about his lewd songs, the breakout songs, the raunchy songs. He had to sing those songs to really break out in the space of dancehall, because if you don't come with a striking image, your music have a connect on a certain level.
For you to make it or what?
Yes, this was just the atmosphere at the time of the music, Yeah. So
When you say the atmosphere, what do you mean?
It's what dancehall wanted.
at the time where people's minds was at, what the market
Desires.
desired.
Facts. And that's a good answer. He asked him about the lewd lyrics, the music that he sang when he just came out. And he was saying, his response is that, at the time that was what the market wanted. That was what the market desires, because, you had to sing a certain type of music for really bust out big. You can't sing conscious music and make it big in a dancehall. And if you want to strike out or strike people's attention, you have to dig deep within your caliber of lyrics when you sing certain music. So he's saying that his response is that you have to strike the market and give the market what it want. Give the people them what them want, sing what them want here, and then over time you sing what you want them here.
You know, so let's give the people what they want.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you felt compelled to do it?
Not really say compelled, but
Because you have grown since.
Right.
You spoke
I
about
I wouldn't say compelled to do it. I would just say that, you know, you have to make the money, you have to do what you have to do until, as what him would have said, or as what him would have said after this part of the interview. You have to do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do. Do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do. So, to say you're compelled to do what the people want you to do, it's not really like that, but you have to strike out there in a sense so that the people can hear you, know that your presence is here.
about the formula,
Right.
that you went in and you discovered the formula.
Right.
So,
But let's give the people what they want. And then do what you have to do. Then do what you want to do.
Until you can do what you want to do. Facts.
Okay.
Much appreciated.
The marketing and promotion of Alkaline, the Vendetta. Yeah, how did that come about? Vendetta label,
It's just
brand.
Yeah, man, there's the challenges them where we see around and the island and everything, and just want to put together a fan base.
So his response to the whole Vendetta moniker in dancehall, he's saying that after all challenges that he faced on the islands of Jamaica, because remember when Alkaline was coming up in the music business, he was getting a lot of fights. So to formulate a whole movement for himself, he found a striking name, which is why him come up with the name Vendetta. And to me, the whole Vendetta on a different aspect would definitely seem, vengeance, fight back. Because to me, after watching the show V for Vendetta, what me get from it is that, we have a system of our own. We not take bad up, we not take bully. We have our own boss. So nobody can bully we. And that me get from the Vendetta, vengeance.
To represent the name and what we're about, yeah?
So it's a movement.
Yeah, it is a movement.
That's become. Yeah.
What kind of movement?
Movement for the people, man. Yeah, man.
No, man. Well, when you say movement, all movements are for people.
That
what
is
kind
true.
of movement?
That is true.
So, social, cultural, political, religious.
And this is when the critical question starts to be asked about the movement, the Vendetta movement, because you don't want to say your movement is tribal or your movement is against societal standards. So Alkaline goes on to say the movement is about people, fun, loving, peace, which is also a part of the movement. But vengeance in our heart, as the Vendetta said, them they want we cut and come back with the formula. Your blood in my eye, vengeance in my heart, So it's a movement, but separate and apart from the vengeance and fully dark out, fun, loving vibe is a part of the movement also.
But what are the basic core values of the Vendetta movement?
It's upliftment, man, and just positivity, love and joy and excitement and fun.
Facts.
Yeah, man. Laugh.
Laughter.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And then the stunts.
Yo, shit. I told you, this is when the crucial questions start to be asked. Cliff Hughes mentioned stunt. These are some of the questions that people want answers to, and listen to what Alkaline answers and says.
Tell me about those. The PR stunts.
Oh, you said PR.
Oh, I thought he would mention stunts about, contact or whatever them stuff there, but it was about PR stunts, I guess.
You know what stunt?
Yeah? The tattoo?
Yo, him ask him about the tattoo. This is a controversial question, the contact. You know, I would say the contact was just a phase to really break out. For really show people, for make people know it, realize that, yo, this is a man I out in a game and I'm different, you know. Because the tattoo eye for me was a moniker. You know, it was a moniker for me. And when he break out with that, he striked an attention for a long time. Him strike the public's eye.
That was a stunt, which worked for you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's done.
What was it?
I just may express myself, you know?
Oh,
Yeah. May
Express yourself.
Yeah.
I've got
How
a
do you
partner.
express yourself by tattooing your eyes? What were you trying to say?
Just when you look for me and see what
What
The
time?
tattoo there?
what time it is, you know?
We can't see the time when you look in the eye when you...
That's a question that Cliff used. Cliff used handled that question. Alkaline was in the hot seat with this question. A lot of people wanted to hear what him have to say as it pertains to this question. And here you have it. He's saying what you want him to say, or he's saying what he wants you to hear. And listen, people.
For real, but I just get the impression, say, a person, I mean, business, you know, especially coming from the dancer space where it's so competitive.
Mm-hmm.
You have to
Have a
you
striking
have to
look.
You can't really follow.
You have to have a striking look.
Yeah, man.
How well did it work for you?
And these are some of the questions that Alkaline answers, and we, the fans, we know what to answer and says. We know what to answer and say because we know all of this already. We know them thing about the artist. We know say back then in a dance, you did really have to come out strikingly with an image because dancehall was so competitive at that point, as I've stated. Many artists are try bus and couldn't bus. Remember, we saw artists would put big tattoo over them face. You know, we see artists go up on the Arthur Tree transportation center, you know, for jump off, say them are artists, you know. We saw all of that, you know. So Alkaline created a whole movement by people creating or doing some kind of you know, moniker, creating some moniker to break out in a dancehall space. But you know, the tattoo was just the phase of break, you know, because after the tattoo was the music, and the music shows the true talent.
Work, man, work.
How well?
Well.
Now, there was a period of your career when you were in these clashes. Some time ago.
Right.
Yeah?
These are the questions you guys want to ask, and you're getting the answers to it. Listen keenly. People are saying that Alkaline didn't answer the question to a way they wanted him to answer it, but listen to how he answered it. More subtle, composed, and easy. Nothing too Alkaline. And he's answering it effortlessly. He's answering the questions to a way I would expect him to answer it.
Looking back, any regrets about those?
It's just a vibe. It's just fun, yeah?
Yeah, clashings are just fun. Dancehall is about competition. Clashing is fun. It's a part of the culture. So Alkaline is saying that it's just a vibes. It's just for fun.
Not really.
Vibes, as in vibes started?
Damn. This is the part that has the media running wild, because Cliff Hughes has mentioned the Vibes Cartel name, and a lot of people were saying that. A lot of people were out here saying that Alkaline was scared to do an interview because he didn't want the interview to ask him about Vibes Cartel. They didn't want to ask him about his eyeball tattooed. And these are the questions that have been asked. And Alkaline is giving a response to it. Just what you guys wanted.
No. Okay.
Isn't he actor?
Yes.
Shit. Oh my god, you didn't just do that. The man asked Alkaline about Vibes Cartel, and Alkaline's response was, isn't he locked up? This just proves to me that Alkaline is not fazed by whatever anyone out here is doing. He's not fazed by whatever Vibes Cartel is doing out here. So this man answers that, isn't he locked up? And it's a rhetorical question, right? He asked him about Vibes Cartel, and Alkaline asks Cliff Hughes back the question, isn't he locked up? This is just crazy. This is reverse psychology at its finest. The man asked him, isn't he locked up? Clearly shows us that he doesn't know anything about Vibes Cartel, or he doesn't keep up to date about Vibes Cartel. Shit.
Vibes, as in Vibes Cartel?
Alkaline, look
No.
back.
No. Okay.
I'm looking at Alkaline and I'm wondering if Alkaline look back to his production team into wondering why did this man mention Vibes Cartel name, or I'm just bugging, or I'm just tripping. But the way how Alkaline look back just tells me that Alkaline probably look back on him production team and I said, did this man really mention that name in my interview?
Yes. Uh-huh. But now you have moved on from that.
Right.
Yeah? And where are you now?
You hear him say? He's moved on from the Vibes Cartel fears. The name mention of Vibes Cartel, he don't really fears him or matter him no more. Shit. He move on from the clash.
Yeah. As you said, I love some music where
Mm-hmm.
encourage the people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do the right, you know.
Mhm.
Feel good, you know.
Yeah.
So Alkaline is saying that he's on a trajectory of putting out positive, good music for the people to, help them uplift themselves and build them mentally, physically, and emotionally through the music. And that's a good response.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And by moving, you are taking it to a higher level,
Most definitely, can't take it to a level.
right? And I want to ask now, tell me the features of that high level. The people watching you, yeah? What are they going to get and are getting from Alkaline?
If I get more music, if I get more shows,
Cool,
if I
cool.
get
As I've stated, viewers and subscribers, Alkaline is a man of many words. But Alkaline is telling y'all that it's more about the music. It's more about him growing musically, giving the fans what them desire, what them want, doing the stage shows, interacting through the music and the stage shows. Because after watching this interview, he's literally speaking about his music and his life, nothing too controversial about someone else. A few controversial questions were asked, but it's not about anyone particularly, but it's just more so about his personal life and his music. A little about his personal life, but more so about his music and his career.
if I get alcohol.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, man.
Well, have you turned your back on Jamaica? You don't live in Jamaica anymore.
Wow, this is a question that people want to ask. This is a question people want to ask. The interviewer asks, have you turned your back on Jamaica? Oh my God, that's a crucial question right there.
You,
I live at Jamaica.
you live in Jamaica? But you spend most of your time outside of Jamaica.
Yeah, enough time and you're gonna live now somewhere there. Now I go see him because the car dark, you know.
The man himself, you can't go see him because the car dark. Yo, this is crazy. So Alkaline is saying that he lives in Jamaica. It's just that people don't see him. He don't go out that much. Damn, that's crazy. Hey.
But you don't talk to the media in Jamaica.
Talk, man.
This is your first interview in 10 years to the
talk,
Jamaican
man. I
media.
got a couple of years we hear what I say, yeah? Yeah, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is there something that you have a problem with the Jamaican
No problem. No
media?
problem. Everything's super. Everything calm. Everything calm.
That is good.
That's a special, man. Huh?
People, viewers and subscribers, these are some of the questions people want answers for. They've asked question, Alkaline live in Jamaica. Alkaline run from Jamaica. Him lose touch, him out of touch, him need to come back on the ground. So the man ask him if him run will leave Jamaica or him abandon Jamaican people. Damn.
Yeah. Are you a recluse now?
Oh my God, a recluse. Viewers and subscribers, the interviewer asked Alkaline if he's a recluse. You see that y'all need to watch this interview to really get and grasp what going on in an interview. The man asked Alkaline if he's a recluse. In other words, asking Alkaline if he isolate himself from the public. Because as an entertainer, you know you can't really isolate yourself. So listen to what Alkaline has to respond and say.
Why do you think so?
Because in preparing for this interview, everybody tells me we don't hear enough of him. We don't know anything about him. He doesn't give interviews.
You see the response? You listen the response. He says, oh, so a bag attack I make. A bag attack I make. Alkaline say, oh, okay, these are some of the questions. These are some of the response from people are saying that him channel.
Yeah? So, are you a recluse?
I wouldn't say that. That's
My style.
my style, you know? Sometimes I just want what I vibe, you know?
People needs to understand that sometimes people are gonna be how them want to be. If someone is introverted, y'all can't change them from being who they want to be. You just have to understand that somebody are gonna just be themselves. Nobody can change them how them want them be. We understand say public figures carry have a certain responsibility and them carry a certain weight above them head. But at the same time you have to understand say a person is always going to be who they want to be. If you're an introvert, you're going to be an introvert. If you're an extrovert, you're always going to be an extrovert. So do not compare someone to what you want them to be because you cannot change them.
I'm not sure I go. Yeah, so that's that kind of like say. Right. Keep yourself from the people.
Y'all hear his response?
I always do it.
He's saying that it's not like me keep myself from people. I always do the work, which is the music. The music is always putting out there. It's who want hear it, who want listen it. If you don't want to listen it, you just don't want to listen it.
Yeah.
Where can they find you?
Still on the music, man.
Yeah, where?
Yeah, man, turn on the rhythm. Yeah. I'm up on the internet and the platform there.
Mm-hmm.
And look for the man himself.
Exactly, just like that as stated. Alkaline is saying that if you want to find him, turn on the music. Go on the music platforms like Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music. If you want to find him, you can turn on the music, turn on your radio. So people are out here saying they can't find him or they want them to know where him isolate. If you want to know him, listen his music. Why do you want to know about his personal life? I thought artists were loved because of their music. Yeah, here and there some artists love because of them persona and them personality, because that is some artists. Every artist is not the same. You have artists out here who are very much introverted. Take it like this. Look at an artist like an artist like Sia who sing Chandelier. Nobody knows her. Nobody knows how she even look like, literally, but she sings some massive hit songs out here. Look at what's the name? The name something another Walker. I don't remember her name, but something another Walker. But let me leave it right here. But you have so much people out here who have them own personality, old persona. It's just them. You cannot change them to be what they don't want to be.
Yeah. In terms of the marketing of the brand,
Right.
yeah?
Right.
What are the instructions to your team?
Well, that would have been For me and the team, yeah. Everything and the team, yeah.
Can't say it publicly.
I say we can't say it, but you know.
Yeah, whatever him and him team have planned or have going on as it pertains to the market space, it's between him and him team, which I understand and I applaud their response. Like, not everything needs to be exposed, not everything needs to be said in the media. So he's saying that his team, how him go about marketing and the brand and everything, it's between him and his team, not for the public, and it's a good response.
I don't understand, yeah.
Yeah?
It wouldn't do much for you. It wouldn't make sense, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
facts.
Now you are an internationally known star. People want to have a lot of you. Yeah?
Right.
You performed before 12,000 people earlier this year
Right,
in Wembley Stadium.
right.
Yeah? You were in Canada some time ago.
Right.
Now you are in Jamaica for new rules.
The third leg.
People are saying that Alkaline can't grow or won't grow because of his persona or his ways and him being reclusive and introverted, but not knowing that his music, if you are a true fan of his music, you would understand who the person is behind the music, and you will grow with the artist because you know the artist ins and out once you listen to the music. So people are saying those stuff that he won't grow, but not understanding that the artist is who he is, and if he's gaining new fans, they themselves are going to understand who the artist is.
Third leg.
Right.
Yeah? Can we expect more of you in terms of public performances in Jamaica?
Wait a minute. The whole Vibes Cartel part gone in the interview. I'm not even remember it. I'm just here vibing to the whole interview, listening to some key moments, some key parts of the interview. And me I enjoy it, me I vibe to it, me I get a good frequency from it. This is the interview that I can watch again. Like me I meds and me I listen, hear some things. The interview is subtle.
Most definitely, man. Yeah, that just watch your works, watch your rides, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Social media in
Right.
today's world.
Commentary,
Yeah.
social commentary.
You're a 31-year-old man. Yeah?
Yeah.
You grew up in the era of social media. Yeah.
You know what I understand? The part that he mentioned about the 31-year-old. I saw a clip on social media where they spliced it and put the 31 and the "do you have any children" together, making it seems like the interviewer asked him, "Oh, you're a 31-year-old, do you have any children?" That is just crazy. Yo, people can splice thing in the media to make the public run with so much things. Like this question when I asked him about him being 31-year-old was about a different thing, you know. He's asking him about the whole social media space and being that him is a 31-year-old, and you know people interact through social media a lot and social media presence. And people splice it and say, and the 31-year-old go with the children part. Oh my God.
Part of the story about being a star in today's world is your public persona.
Right.
Yeah? But your fans, all of them, when I ask them, what should I ask him? They say to me, who is he? What turns him on? What does he do when he's not on stage?
So this part of the interview was when people pose conversations to Cliff Hughes to ask Alkaline, and I saw also that people were running with a narrative saying that Cliff Hughes himself was asking Alkaline what turns him on, when there were just fans asking Cliff Hughes. There were just fans posing questions to Cliff Hughes to ask Alkaline. The narratives that are been spreading on the social media, it's just crazy. It is just crazy, man.
Tell them.
I'm gonna do a minute on stage.
Yes, when you're not performing.
I'm gonna perform. I'm gonna perform my right song.
Cool answer. Good
Good
answer.
answer.
Good answer. This is what I've said. Let me read a law of power, a 48 laws of power to you guys. There's a law what goes like this. Law of power number 4. Always say less than necessary. You saw what Alkaline did there. He said that when he's not performing, he's writing songs or he's just chill. So this is for you to not know much about his life. Always say less than necessary. The more you say, the more likely you are to say something foolish or revealing. Keeping your words measured and controlled gives you more power and keeps others guessing about your intentions and capability. Props to Alkaline. Him know what him doing at that interview here, you know. Not revealing much about his personal life keeps the fans and naysayers guessing.
I was chilling. I've been chilling. And I don't do much. I've been chilling.
You don't do much.
I've been chilling,
Yeah?
I've been chilling. Yeah.
Do you have children?
No.
No. Good. But so there's just the music.
I see.
Yeah. Good. And in terms of the future, where you see yourself in the future?
It's doing, continue expanding the brand and continue putting out music that people love.
Yeah.
And chase with the goals.
This man is more so focused on his musical career. He's not revealing much to the public about his private life, and I respect that. Some of y'all need to respect that and understand that Alkaline is a musician. Appreciate him for his music and know that her music the man are focused on. Clearly, as he stated, he's just focused on his music, wanting to get bigger, to achieve more, accomplishments.
Inspire fans, It's the biggest general,
Yeah.
Biggest lie, yeah.
You're not the typical dancehall artist. Yeah? Of people trailing behind you.
Hear that?
Yeah?
You heard that, right? Viewers and subscribers, y'all heard that, right? He's not the typical dancehall artist that have people running up and down behind him like other artists. He's just different with his own style.
You're not that. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. I said to her, I'm not no wrong with that if you want to get that.
Which is understandable. He's saying that nothing is wrong with someone being that of a person who wants to have people running up behind them, cheering them on and so forth, our fans gushing after you and so forth. Everybody is different in their own ways. So he's saying nothing wrong with that. Anybody who want to do that, it's okay for them, but my style is just my style.
My style is my style, I'll do my thing, I'll do my thing. Mm-hmm.
And what is your style? I think I've asked you this question about 3 times now. What is your style?
I should explain it, but
That part I didn't get when him say it hard to explain, which is understandable in another sense too. Because when explaining your own style, it kinda hard. If you don't really study me, you're not gonna know my style. So what I'm getting is that Alkaline is saying that cause remember he answered the question. He said my style is my style. So if you're a fan of me, you would know that my style is just my style. I am who I am. Calm, cool, subtle, collective, of all that humble type of person. That is just Alkaline style. And us the fans, we know Alkaline style. But for the naysayers who want to know him style, it's just his style. We don't need to know much.
Just watch and just if you can pick up something, pick up something.
Exactly, just like I stated, you have to just watch him and understand him that his style is his style. Know how him behave, know how him, formulate him words, them know how him go about. Calm and easy. That's just what I'm getting from him.
Okay. You can't tell me what is your style.
My style is just Alkaline.
My style is just Alkaline.
You know, if you put it in words to explain to you,
All right, let me put it to you on another one.
It always changes. I can't, you know.
His style always changes.
Fair enough.
He's saying that his style always changes. Crazy, man. Man of many persona, man of many personalities.
That unique sound that you have somehow developed, blending dancehall with elements of R&B and hip hop.
Fusion.
Yeah,
Fusion.
tell me
Fusion
about that
music.
process.
He's speaking about the fusion aspects of Alkaline's music.
Well, that would be music and what enjoy listening to me, especially when I come up here. I don't say
Mhm.
student of the music too, you know?
Mhm.
So yeah, it's a bit of music, you know?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I thought I missed that one. Alkaline said he's a student of the music. Big up the music too. People, y'all missed that part? Let me pull up that up here. Me I wonder if you miss that part.
Yeah, it's a bit of music, you know?
Wait a minute. Let me pull it back again.
Blending dancehall with elements of R&B and hip hop. Yeah?
Listen.
Tell me about that process.
Well, that would be music and what enjoy listening to me, especially when I come up here. I don't say student of the music too, you know?
He's saying he's a student of the music too.
Yeah,
So
you
you
use that kind of energy in it, you know?
yeah,
Yeah. And it become what it is, you know?
yeah.
Yeah,
But
So he's saying that, well, this is in my words, but how him really I say it, he's saying that he fuses all the music that he listens to in his upbringing. As he stated, he's a student of the music, so he puts them together, making it a collage, so it helps combine and shapes his sound and way of how him do music with, you know, the R&B element, the little hip hop fusion element and so forth, which combines the dancehall music for him and how him really do music.
tell me, looking back now
right.
and looking forward, yeah, what has been the most significant lesson for you in your musical career and journey?
Significant lesson.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe
Man at twang.
difficult times forward, just keep going, never stop, yeah? Yeah.
So no major disappointments, no major achievements. They say yes.
Well, be a household name, man. We take the brand across on a global scale.
So Cliff Hughes asked him about his music and achievement for him in the future, or what him really grateful for. You know, any disappointment, any times where you know you feel grateful. He's saying that is the fact that his name has become a household name, and the fact that his music, he took it on a more global scale, which is a good response. And he also responded and said that to be doing it as an independent artist, it's a good look. It's a good look for him.
Yeah, man. That definitely is up there.
Yeah.
Major achievements. Yeah?
Major achievement.
Yeah, man. Especially doing it in a way of doing
Independently.
not being aligned per se. Doing, just being independent, you know what I mean?
Just being
Yeah,
independent,
that's
you know what I mean?
That's a major. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's.
Y'all have to understand that Alkaline is a article artist. He's not like the everyday artist. He's going to just be different, stand out. So if you hear an artist talk a certain way on an interview, do not expect Alkaline to talk just like that person. He's different in his own way, own unique way. We all have to just accept it like that.
Camera. Your camera.
Right.
I'm going to ask you just give you some names, some words,
Right.
and without thinking about it, I want you to tell me what comes to mind.
Right.
Earl Barkley.
G that man. General.
Earl Bartley, that's Alkaline's father. Alkaline's response was that is his G, that's his general. Great response, youth. Great response. My father.
Your dad. Charmian what?
Source.
Charming is his source. Shit.
Motivation. Inspiration.
Backbone.
Shimona Barkley.
Sister. Backbone also.
Yeah.
Kerry.
You see, there's a thing called action, you know. Action speaks more volume than words some of the time, you know. And he's showcasing action. Whenever Cliff Hughes mentioned a name, you saw where Alkaline gave an hand gesture, showing you that Kim and the both sisters is his backbone. Them help him, they were him there. Them push the confidence, them give him the confidence, the courage. So he's giving you a hand gesture, showing you that they are his backbone. They are a part of his motivational team.
Arden.
Foundation.
Yeah. The other one? Donald Trump.
Why would he chat, let me know, why would Cliff Hughes mention Donald Trump name? Why would Cliff Hughes mention what's his name? Andrew Holness name, and also Mark Golden name? What I get from this is that, as I've stated earlier on in this vlog, is that Cliff Hughes laid every cards on the table. Every question are going to be asked, and come on, Cliff Hughes had to ask the crucial questions. He had to put in some politics in it, which, I understand it, being that Alkaline is a dancehall entertainer. You have to ask certain questions.
Mad thing.
You say the president is mad?
Jamaican term, mad thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Andrew Holness.
Mad thing.
Mark Golden.
Mad thing.
This just clearly shows me that Alkaline doesn't want to be mixed in the politics. He doesn't want to say much about politics, which is a lot of people. Enough people don't want, especially entertainers, they don't want to be mixed within the politics aspect of things. They don't want to say much about politics.
Time come or choose Jamaica?
Actually, chat, I didn't know this part of the whole interview. The time come and what? Somebody that do it for Jamaica or some stuff.
Again?
Time come or choose Jamaica?
Time come or choose Jamaica. I didn't know until the interviewer mentioned what it meant. And I'm like, whoa, bro.
Jamaica. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
That tells me you're not here,
That was a tricky question for the interviewer to get Alkaline in a loop, to prove that Alkaline is not too in touch with the Jamaican space, or him not being under Jamaican style that much, because the time come or choose Jamaica is, the political party's slogan, both PMP and Labour Right slogan. So he's saying that Alkaline is not too much in tune, which me understand very much, I say, but I myself didn't know that also. Not everybody really in tune with the culture, the politics thing.
I'm calm is a guilty slogan for the elections. Choose Jamaica is a guilty slogan.
I don't know that about that stuff. I'm not really depending on that.
You don't know.
He's catching He's trying to catch Alkaline in a lie, saying that he's not in Jamaica. Shit.
Don't follow those.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Let me also probe you for a moment. State of Jamaica. How you feel about?
You know what I got from this interview? This interview is a legendary interview right as we speak. Like, after watching this interview, as I've stated, viewers and subscribers, every card was laid on the table. He asked some questions that really needed to be asked. Like, to ask about the whole space of Jamaica, the whole island, what going on in our country. These are some of the questions that I would definitely think this interviewer would ask an artist like Bob Marley or Peter Tosh and all those legendary artists. So to ask an Alkaline and getting Alkaline's response was a plus also for the interview, and I respect it 100%.
State of the country.
Jamaica, man. Jamaica is always been Jamaica, man. People have to just do right, you know? Work it out amongst ourselves, you know?
And what do we need to work out among ourselves?
How we handle disagreements and stuff. How we treat each other, you know?
Oh, yep.
Yeah, man.
You feel like we're not resolving our conflicts well enough?
No, true.
Because we are showing the crime rate, you know?
Facts.
So
Good.
once we adjust that, the Superman, because everybody loves Jamaica, everybody loves the island, everybody want to come here. So
He's responding with words, a lot of words also. What were people talking about, saying the interview was not it? People, what were you all watching?
stuff it and straighten up a few things, because everywhere have the issues and the problems, you know?
Yeah.
They speak on all their problems from Jamaica.
On Jamaica alone have problem, people.
Do research, man. Do some reflection.
Yeah.
Straighten up some things. Ghana, we're good to go. But Jamaica, a place.
And you're based in the US, so you find that?
They're everywhere. As I said, but they have enough time. I'm there sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I think I saw a comment in the chat of this interview where someone asked, saying that Cliff Hughes should have asked Alkaline if he has a green card. And I'm like, what the hell? People really want to know if Alkaline have a green card? Come on, people are crazy. You people are crazy out here, man. It is so crazy.
You have done a lot
Yeah.
without a lot being said.
Lot more for the
A lot more to
Like
do.
what?
more groundbreaking things, man. More
Cool.
exciting.
Cool, love that.
Yeah, man.
He-
More surprises.
He's looking in the
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah, man.
Is there award an award that you haven't won yet that you have your eyes on? The Grammy?
Why is the Grammy always the pinnacle of one's success? Like music entertainers, Grammy is really the pinnacle. Like Cliff Hughes. Yeah, I was about to say Cliff Word, but Cliff Hughes mentioned the word Grammy. You know, that's a good achievement. You know, that's the pinnacle of achievement. But it's always like people pose the Grammy on a musician, saying that, you know, to achieve or to get that Grammy is always a good thing. Yeah, it's always a good thing, but it always seems as though it's the pinnacle of achievement. Me not understand it.
It comes, yeah.
You know, working towards it.
It comes, yeah. We put out the best work each time, so. As far as I'm concerned, all in the world, it's going to be ready, but
Facts.
it comes. So we're not really.
So the artist mentioned that his work, all of his works are Grammy worthy. He puts out his best works, and all of his works, his musical works, are Grammy worthy, which I definitely agree on. Like, and is definitely understandable, because he have some hit songs that were really solid and become classic in a dancehall, and you know, the Grammy thing, it's kind of one-sided in a sense where you have to really depend on the committee for really help push for get your artist for get a Grammy. But as what Alkaline said, if it comes, it comes. Continuously putting in the best his best work. If it comes, it comes. That's just natural.
Just from that, because you don't want to be like, if you don't get it, you discouraged. You know?
Yeah, you don't want to.
It comes.
Facts.
Yeah. And in terms of your own sense of self now,
Yeah.
where are you with that? You have moved from being the man who was quarreling, like them block you, and you take with yourself and come back with
That
the
part
fun.
of me that too, man. That part of me too, I say, just express myself. I mean that too.
Yeah. We all have days where we are up and we all have days where we are down. We all have days where we have up tempo, you know, we're dark, ignorant, mad, and then we have peaceful days, humble days. So Alkaline is saying that that's him too, being, you know, sometimes him up there, sometimes him down, sometimes him dark out, sometimes him just hold a composure. It's just a part of life, the yin and the yang, natural.
You can't get irate, you know?
Yes. And the song or album, tell me which one, that you got the most feedback about, that really forced you to think about, oh, did I get it right or not?
And when you say feedback, you talk like negative.
Or positive?
Get good feedback on Holy Patron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, Holy Patron and the Eastern man, you have the champion boy,
Which is true.
after you have the boss, you're the boss. And yeah.
Okay. All right. Your final words to your legions of fans?
Yeah, man, keep it real, the youngest lad, full touch, but article.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So it's new rules,
Yeah, man,
Friday,
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, man.
Give us the details and tell them.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be epic, man. You don't know. You told our artists, eh? Yeah, man. Silk Bass, the Intense, the Moon, the Tifa, the Diamond, the Knox, Alkaline, and Marty, the Sparrow, the Secret, Trillian, Multipurpose, Theater, Low.
Thank you very much, sir. Good, good.
Yo, big up the man himself, you know, that, cause Alkaline put down a historical an historical interview, and we can definitely say the youth do him thing. People out here just gas up themselves for no reason at all, because the interview was composed, article, subtle, humble, you know, simple and easy. The little bag of excitement. You have little up moments where you laugh, and cause throughout the whole interview, me a vibe and me a take in it, and it give me a vibe. That interview, yeah, you can listen and watch it over the next years and top of years. To the future to come, you go watch an interview. Viewers and subscribers, let me know what you think about this interview and listen and about what me say some of the key points in this interview, because I've heard people out here saying that the interview boring, the interview no give them no wow factor, all sort of gibberish people out here attack. But from my point of view and my perspective, you guys let me know what you think. This interview, to me, it's up to par. It's there. It's up there. This interview is an interview. It's informative, and it's more so a listening interview where you listen, learn keenly with the interviewer say and the interviewee. So viewers and subscribers, make me know what you think. Have vibes and insight with another one. You know it go already, man. A mad thing. I'm out. Article.